Hi, I'm josephrlewis, and I write adventures. And I think this is the year 2026, so welcome to a new year. So lately I've been writing some more adventures, and I've been running a lot more playtests, and I've noticed something that I keep discovering during my playtests that results in certain changes that I keep making to my adventures to make them better in new drafts, and that is adding more connections throughout the adventure in lots of different types and forms. So I want to talk about different types of connections that we can be making in our adventures. The first type of connection is a pretty simple, straightforward one. They are pathway connections, physical connections in your physical space. And these can be secret entrances, hidden passageways between different rooms, secret doors, portals that transport you from location A to location B, all the kinds of things that you're probably thinking about when I say secret pathways or hidden physical connections. Why do we care about these things? Number one, players like to find them. It makes them feel clever. It rewards the initiative and creativity when they go around tapping on things and casting detect magic and whatever it is. When they get to discover something, they went looking for something and they found it. So good for them. It also then changes the physical space for them. Now, these two disparate, separate connections, these different places are connected in some way. So now it changes the landscape. Now we can use the resources over here to solve the problem over there. It completely transforms the way they interact with your adventure in new and exciting and unpredictable ways, because players are very unpredictable. So we're rewarding that behavior, and we're changing things up. For those who find it, they get to have a whole new experience, which is great. It's a whole new layer to your adventure that you didn't even have to really work for. You just had to connect two rooms in some way. So that's why I've been finding that after I complete a first draft and I do some playtests, I start looking for ways to create pathway connections between different rooms that I haven't already created. As some examples, in a recent adventure that I created, no spoilers, except I'm going to tell you all the details, I noticed that several of the rooms in the dungeons had chimneys, basically. One had a furnace, one had a kiln. And I thought, oh, well, those are both structures that, expel smoke. That smoke needs to go somewhere. There could be a ventilation system, essentially. So there's a hidden tunnel, and if you crawl up in these chimneys, they connect to each other, so you can go from room A to room B. And then I also thought, well, the smoke needs to get out of the dungeon, logically, because players like to get logical in their magical dungeons full of dragons. They'll say, where did the smoke go? So I created a vent then that goes outside. So there's now a secret exit or entrance to the dungeon, as well as ways to connect these two rooms that have smoky ventilation systems. So that was an interesting thing, and a lot of players won't find that, but the ones who do will be very rewarded and very excited. A second example of a physical connection, I had a room that had a well in it because I wanted a water feature and things to happen. And then, of course, the logical player will go, oh, I wonder what's down the well, or I wonder where the well is getting the water from, or something like that. So if they go down the well, they'll find that it connects to a waterway, a subterranean river sort of thing, and that connects to the outside. So it's another secret entrance or exit from the dungeon. So that can transform the landscape a little bit if they need to escape, or if they want to smuggle something in. You're giving your players those kinds of options. Obviously, there's more regular ways. You can just put, if you could draw your map around and you say, oh, these rooms are near each other, but they're not connected. Maybe it's interesting to put a hidden door between them. Not because it serves a storytelling purpose, but just because it would reward play and it would change the landscape if it's ever found. So I think it's perfectly valid to be plugging those in, because again, we're playing a game and we're trying to reward gameplay. And I think players like to discover these things. So creating physical pathways between different spaces is a great way to create physical connections and to reward player creativity and make them feel smart and triumphant when they find those things, and they transform the landscape by making these connections. So after my first drafts, I go looking for ways to add new pathway connections in my spaces. Second type of connection that I like to make in my adventures are item connections, object connections. And one of the main forms of this is after I've, put everything in its place and the creatures are in their rooms and they're doing their thing and they have little plot points and story bits, I will look for ways to foreshadow those items or those scenes or those creatures by placing objects or signs around them in the space. So that could be if there's a person who's missing or who has traveled ahead of you, they could have dropped their belongings or a scrap of clothing, or they lost their shoe or something. So you can find the shoe in this room and you'll say, oh no, it's the guy's shoe and he must be in danger because he's lost a shoe. Also, you could have trails of blood, claw marks on the wall from where the werewolf passed by. All of these things that foreshadow, but also reward players who take the time to look around and investigate things. and inspect objects and try to figure out where they came from or whose they belong to. And then it foreshadows the things that will come in the later rooms. And even if they don't figure out what the object or the sign is ahead of time, later when they encounter the thing that it was foreshadowing, they can say, oh, that's why we saw the thing in the other room beforehand. Now it makes sense. Oh, we should look for these things more in the future. So it can be a way to encourage styles of play, like if you want them to be more investigative, putting clues around for them to start drawing connections, putting these objects for them to find is a way to encourage that type of play, or to reward the play if the players are already engaging in it. A second type of object connection that I like to do is to basically break an object and put the pieces in different places so the players can find the pieces, wonder about what to do with these pieces, hopefully take them with them, and as they find more pieces, begin combining them to some greater purpose. So, for example, this could be the broken up pieces of a set of armor. So, they find the pauldron, they find the greave, they find the breastplate, they find the helmet, and when they put them together, having the whole suit of armor has some effect. Maybe it comes alive and attacks them, or maybe they can put it on and it has a magical effect when all of the pieces are combined. Similarly, they might find all of the spell components or all the potion components for something that they need to use later on, which has a greater effect, obviously. Or they could find the broken pieces of an amulet or a statue or something, and then they wonder what these are, and hopefully someone carries them around, and they realize if they put them together, then it combines and has some magical effect, and it rewards their creativity and curiosity, and makes a cool effect that maybe only they will experience. Only a subset of your players in future run-throughs will get to experience, which is more special, I think, than just the front door that everyone walks through. And my third type of connection, because good things come in threes, are NPC connections. A lot of my adventures have a lot of NPCs. They're hanging out in the rooms. They have little stories to tell. They have personality quirks that hopefully the GM can role play, because I like to reward my GMs who want to get engaged and give them things to do. So I want to have my NPCs offer some connections to each other. So they could be relatives of each other, they could be friends, they could be rivals, they could be business partners, whatever it is. But you meet NPC A over here, and they tell you something about this other person, and later on you find NPC B, and you already know something about them. And maybe you already have an opinion or a feeling about them. You want to help them, or you're on your guard about them. So having social interactions now has a greater reward for your players. If they talk to the NPC, the first one they find, they can get more information, they can get more insight about what's to come. And then later on, that can pay off when they find the other NPCs that are the other half of that connection or that relationship. NPCs can be offering you warnings about dangerous things to come. They can also be giving you bits of information that are helpful to leverage, like what does this other NPC fear, or what do they desire, or what do they need? So as you're walking through the dungeon, you can say, oh, remember that guy? He needs some kind of medicine for his sick kid. If we find the medicine, we take it to him, he heals his sick kid, and then he's grateful to us, and he helps us do the next thing. So it creates that follow-on effect, that sort of cascade effect. As the more information we have, the more we can manipulate the NPCs. They become levers that the players can use to manipulate the dungeon environment or the adventure environment, which again gives you a much richer experience and rewards players who are more engaged and paying attention. So that's it for today. Just 3 types of connections that I encourage you to go back and add on as extra layers after you've already done a first draft and maybe a first playtest. Look for ways to create physical pathway connections in your space. Look for ways to add object connections as foreshadowing, or elements that can be picked up and combined later on to reward delayed gratification play. And look for ways to add NPC connections. How can your NPCs tell the players information about future events or future NPC interactions that they'll have, so they can feel more informed and engaged and reward creativity and curiosity and engagement. So that's my advice for today. I hope that's helpful to you. Good luck out there.